morning, good afternoon, good evening. And yeah, here we are again on Let's Talk Scholarship. And as you all know, we always bring in packages upon packages for you just to know how things are and how your preparation towards during and after your scholarship of getting your yes. And yeah, so welcome to today's Let Talk Scholarship, and we would like to first of all make a quick announcement and afterwards introduction. Yeah, first of all, if you are joining us, we would like you to kindly drop your name and where you are joining from. We'd like to welcome you. We'd like to know those who are checking out and where you are viewing us from. And also, we would like to inform our LinkedIn viewers that when you're about to comment or ask question, please tap the video and comment in the video comment section. So as for us at the back end to be able to see your questions, if you comment on the advertising post, we might not be able to see it at the moment. So please, when you are trying to make comment, kindly just drop your comment on after tapping the video. And also, as you are joining as well, please drop your questions, your contributions, comment, so we can as well respond to them. And today, today's Let's Talk Scholarship is just basically for those who are planning toward getting their yes for international scholarship as a master's student or a PhD student, and also do for those who are currently in their program session at the moment, and also just for you to have a general a preparation towards how the life how life as a master student and life as a PhD student, what are the things to expect during your program, what should you prepare your mind for, and how are we going to approach it. So so, with that, I would like to welcome our amiable speakers. We have Scholar Wasiu Omoni on stage today. We have Abayomi Olayeye, and we have Koru Doris, sorry. And yeah, they'll be doing an introduction of themselves. And I used to say, you don't want to miss out on today's webinar. Trust me. Basically, it's just how do you thrive as an international master student abroad, not just for master student, as a PhD student as well, because we have some a PhD speaker with us. So the experience so far, I'm actually here to learn as well. You should know that. So like I used to say, tell you, you don't want to miss that. Just 1 minute or 1 seconds of your time just going out. You might have missed a lot. So just stay tuned. You would definitely see this as a what a take home, and who knows? This might be what you've been praying to God for, what you've been expecting, that, oh, I need a meeting like this to just, am I the only one facing this? Am I the only one doing this and that? Yeah. Let's see what is going to happen today. Yeah. Let's start from Doris. We'd like to hear from you. Just a short introduction about yourself, and yeah, just introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on where you're watching from. My name is Koru Doris, and I'm a Commonwealth. No, I'm not a Commonwealth shared scholar because I just concluded my master's studies from Brunel University of London. So I I concluded my master's in maternity and therapy in cancer from Brunel University. I'm a Commonwealth Scholar of 2024-2025 set. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Doris. And let's move on to Abayomi. Please just introduce yourself. And yeah. Hello, Abayomi. Okay, while Abayomi is trying to find it, Wasiu, please, can you just introduce yourself?
Everyone, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Wasiu Abiodun. I am, like Doris, I am a former Commonwealth Share Scholar as well. 2024-2025 set. I finished my master's at the University of Leicester, and I did cancer cell and molecular biology. So it's nice to be here today. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Abayomi and Doris. While we're having a glitch in network, okay, today you all know me. My name is Olusegun Oluwafemi, and currently a master student for FEM that's Functional Advanced Materials Engineering with Artificial Intelligence for Sustainability. And today I'll be your humble host, and would see how today look how it's going to look like in general. So it has been a lot of people are always we've always seen it on LinkedIn that oh yeah thank God finally after 10 years after 2 years of application I finally got my yes, and that is where it stops. And the next thing we hear after the congratulations, you've been selected. Oh, I'm happy to say I started my program in so and so. The next time we would see a post from every individual, it is, oh, finally, I'm glad to, excited to say I finally completed my master's program. I finally completed my PhD program. But there's a question coming through my mind. What happened between the yes and the what is happening between that yes and the finally? There's something, and most people hardly come to stage and say, "Oh, this is how it is. This is how the journey is so far." Or sometimes you see it on the post like, "Oh, though it was an intensive journey, but I'm glad to say," and that's it's just a summary. But today we want to look at it practically. What was your first experience? Now we'll be starting with this. We'll start with your first day in class. Let's start with that. Your first day in your first class as a master student or a PhD student. How was it like for you? And yeah, let's just start with that. So, Abayomi, I'll start with you this time around. Your first day in class, how was it? Was it smooth? Was it what you were expecting? That oh, when you go to the class, the lecturers were just like, and you were like, oh yeah, yeah, this and that. And what was your experience first time, first day in your program as a master student or a PhD student?
Uh, so thank you everyone. After I got my yes from Commonwealth that I was going to the University of Leicester, I would say it was a preparation of nothingness because I don't know what to prepare for. I don't know how it is going to be. I already checked through their course curriculum. I checked through everything, and I already have people I've talked to. But the advice they gave me is that you don't have to read too much because you might not actually do the same thing that the former student who did their masters in the same course as you. You might not do the same thing they did. And even if you do the same thing, there's one thing they call plagiarism, which means that you copying somebody's work and using it as your own. So you might not have the chance to, if you can actually read whatever we gave to you as like a practice just to understand what is going on, but you really don't need it. The moment you start your class, that is when you understand how it goes and everything. So, my first day on campus, in fact, because I don't know that we have like a free bus to school. I had to pick an Uber, which was very expensive, until I know that the bus is actually free. So when I got to the main gate, I was lost. I was asking all around, please, I'm going to this lecture theater. I got lost twice because I was being directed to different hall theater that had bears the same name. And I'm like, well, but eventually I got to the lecture and thank God they were just starting the orientation and stuff. So I did that and then immediately we were sent to class. I sent to class because after orientation that day, we start work immediately. Now, on getting to the class that day, the first thing that they did to us was they gave us the timetable for our work for how the semester is going to pan out. Now, on that timetable, in fact, they print it for every one of us in the lecture. I was seeing your lectures every day start from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. How? 9 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day from Monday to Friday. Ah, but they told me that it is easy in UK. Oh. Like the story I've heard is that whenever you come to the UK as a student, everything is easy. Nobody stress your life. They just give you lectures. You just go to school. Sometimes you don't even need to go. Nobody will ask you anything. But I am saying lecture from 9 to 5. How? 9 to 6. How? So the thing is, you have class from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then from 10:15 a.m. to 6 p.m. is practical class. And we have like three courses like that. Now, I now get to understand that the course that I choose, which is cancer cell and molecular biology, was actually a research master. But because it was expensive, the tuition fee for that course is 23,650 pounds. So it was expensive paying that twice because that is you are paying about 50,000 pounds. So they had to like combine everything. They have to compound it into just 1 year course as a thought masters. But we are still doing everything that they are doing. So they compounded all like about about three courses into a semester. So what they now do is every month you do this course for 1 month, you do exam. You do another course for another month, you do exam. You do the third one for another month and you do exam. So it was intensive. You go to class from 9 till 6, you are there. You are tired, you can't complain. So there is little time for you to come back to social media and tell people, oh, it is so fantastic. I was able to go out to this place and this. It is not easy to go out. You don't expect me to go to lecture from 9 to 6 and come back and have time to do social media. I am already tired. I want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to complete everything and just go back again. So it get to be frustrating at some point, and that is what they don't actually tell us most of the time. That in fact, uh, sometimes when you get to class and you see like with the information that you have gained when you are coming from Nigeria, your first class or your first section in the UK might actually give you a different perspective of what your student life will be. And
All
that's
right.
exactly what happened. Thank you very
All
much.
right, all right, thank you so much, Wasiu, on that. And for before I move to Doris, let me just welcome back Abayomi due to some technical issue. Yeah, is back with us, and basically we are trying to talk about the experience as a master's student, as a current master's or PhD student. How was it like generally, the feelings and the likes and the likes? So the first question was, how was the your first day like? So I would want to rephrase it for Doris. What was the impression you had in Nigeria as coming while coming to like why going for your master's degree? Was it that you were thinking that, oh, as one of the best students who has been able to be selected for the Commonwealth scholarship, or possibly probably I remember the last time we talked we discussed, you said it was God and the like. But yes, with God and everything. But what was your mind? What were you thinking? Is it that when you're coming, it was like as if it's going to be an easy peasy thing, like, oh, I'm one of the best in Nigeria and the likes coming to this place, and as the usual saying, like what was you said that, oh, if you are the this in Nigeria coming here, you'll be the best and the likes, like the general saying. And now we are not just restricting it to Nigerians alone, we are trying to bring it to every international student going for each of their study. So what are the mindset that you've had, and when you came, what was it? Is it still what you bought versus what I ordered versus what I bought, that kind of stuff? What was it like for you? So yeah, so that is how I'll bring the question for you.
Not get what I ordered, please. I didn't get what I ordered. For me, it was because the mindset in that everything is easy. You understand the Nigerian teaching system. Just your write an exam, just pour down what the lecturer taught you in class, and it's okay. But here it's quite different. My experience was different. I had to learn method of reading, method of understanding, method of answering questions. So it wasn't really what I thought of that I met when I came to this country. That's my very that's it. That's it,
Okay.
seriously. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to always bring up the question again for those that are viewing us. How about Abayomi? So, what was it like, especially for your program as an Erasmus candidate? It was a 1 year which was intensive. Was it also what I ordered versus what I get, or like how was it generally? It was like we have these feelings that Nigeria has one of the toughest academic system, that when I get to this Western world, I'm going to do this and that. I'll just be flowing and everything. So how was it like for you? Was it that yeah, it was going smoothly? Because we have to correct that thinking that most people have always thought of, that I think it's going to be easy for me. I don't need to stress myself, and like if you heard what you said as well, it's when it started, he said he saw timetable and it was saying 9 to 6 p.m. and it was like, I thought it's not going to, like, I'm coming here to just come and chill now. Why is it like this? So yeah, let's hear from you too.
Okay, good day everyone from wherever we are joining from. So for me, I think the first cultural shock I first received a cultural shock. The first thing was even not being able to charge my laptop because in whole of Europe it's just two mouth sockets, and that was the first culture shock for me. While I was still trying to understand that, then the next was having to attend classes. I felt, I'm going to survive. Nigeria, we know how as a Nigerian, we know how we have to do today break, how to struggle to ensure that we pass our grades. But yeah, when I started the course, to be quite honest, like as Wasu rightly said, it's the same thing. Though we had break from 12 to 2. That was the break we had. It's 9 to 6, but there was a break from 12 to 2. And that break, even at that break, I hardly even go for break because I don't understand my colleagues are able to go for break under this pressure. In fact, some of my colleagues will say, let's go just have a drink. I'm like, how can you guys go and have a drink? I knew what pursued me away from my country. Like, how do you guys feel comfortable to have a drink with this whole pressure? I can remember very well. It got to time when I told myself, I think I'm done with this program. I want to go back to Nigeria. Then I told myself, is it that something came out like hope is not like hope it's not that there are some demons pursuing me to that wants to bring me back to Nigeria because I was so mentally drained because every class I didn't understand anything. I had a civil background and the program at Erasmus, most Erasmus program, as people would know, is interdisciplinary. And the first months were based on aeronautics jargons. And I always joke and to tell people that the first airplane I took was the one that took me out of Nigeria to this country. I know nothing about airplane. So right now I'm being able, like within a month, I have to understand the whole component of airplane and I have to be able to do a lot of things. So it was a real struggle. I would be in the bus. Erasmus money is coming. I'm happy for the money, but the whole in the bus I'm singing and I'm like, God, mercy. There's this guy song that would uh, Anu, Anu Fumi. So so that's the Yoruba way of saying, have mercy on me. Like, I'm just, God, have mercy on me. Like, I don't think I can cope with this. I'll meet my colleague. My colleague will tell, don't worry, it's okay. I'm like, it's not okay. I know what pursued me from my country. This is beyond what I planned for. So even in the night, I barely could sleep. I'm sleeping, I'm thinking of the cause. Like, what's happening? The pressure deadlines that we have, it was so intense. We had deadlines. The 6 o'clock was to close. A lot of times we don't leave the school by 6. We are still battling the model, how to get it sorted, how to deliberate within our colleagues. It was a real tough one for me. And it was so mentally draining. And people at home will see me, they still kept encouraging me. And one secret is that I started having to post pictures of good places online on my WhatsApp And when people start praising me, that's like a way of calming my stress because
Yeah.
it's so like there's no one you can even go to. Your neighbor, you don't know your neighbor. It's lonely here. You understand? So it's just people from WhatsApp that praise me, not knowing what I'm going through, not knowing that their way of praising me is a way of calming my stress right there. So that's what I started doing.
Thank you so much, Abayomi, for that. And just like I was just laughing out because I think we all can relate to what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so let's continue. You were saying something about the syllabus, the curriculum, and the likes. So let's move to Doris this time around. So I would like to let's bring up this question, and the grading system for every country is different. For let's just use for reference of Nigeria, your 70 upward is A, and 70 upward is A. Sorry, 70 upward is A and the likes, and you coming into a new system and like hearing some country 20, it's a grading system of 20, and for what is this for some country 90 is A and the likes. So how was the shock like for you? Was it the shock of the grading system, and how were you able to balance it up?
For me, the grading system was really a shock, a huge shock, a very big shock to me because it really affected me. You know, back in Nigeria, once you just get 70, um, you're safe. You're having a distinction, and that's an A for you. But you know, here there are some schools like my school, for instance, Brunel University. They'll say 70 is an A, but um when your cumulative is just 70, you don't have a distinction. That's how I think it is. If your cumulative is not 70, you don't have a distinction. So that really affected me because I needed to do better than 70 to achieve a distinction. I don't know if you understand. So it's more like the work I put in back when I was in Nigeria, I had to put like double or triple of it back here in the UK. So it wasn't really funny for me. It was a shock. It was very surprising to me. And um my advice is that once you get to the UK, or you've gotten an admission in any UK university, you're sure that you're going to come here, you need to carry out proper research on the grading system, else it will affect your grades in the future. Carry out research in the grading system, know how they calculate distinction because every school differs. A school might be able to give someone that has a cumulative of 70 distinction, but another school will not give someone that has a cumulative of 70 that same distinction. So every school differs. You need to know how your school calculates this so you know how to navigate all your courseworks and assignments or assessments in order to get a very high score. So that's just the advice I have for you today. Just navigate, try as much as possible to make proper research on your school grading system so it will not affect you in the future. That's all.
Thank you so much, Dory. I'm switching all the questions so we'll be able to touch every part of it. Now, coming to Wasil, I would like to ask, I think Abayomi said something. He said like he was unable to assess whatever they were saying in class and the likes and the likes. So that brings me to a question on, was it like that for you as well? And if it was like that, how were you able to handle such situation? What were the strategies you used that made you finally stand out after your master's degree? How do you go about it? Because I think it's not just Abayomi that faced that. And that will still go back to Abayomi. How was he able to overcome that challenges as well of the whole abstract and the likes? And at the end of it all, you were still able to come out excellently well. Yeah. So what's you?
So I would not lie to you. When we start lectures, we have different kind of lecturer from all walk of life. Some people speak very low, slow and fantastic English that you can easily understand. But some people are Hispanic. someone from like Colombia. I remember Sylvester, one of our lecturers. His name is Sylvester something. I forgot it. It's like an Italian name. Now, whenever he's talking about protein, he calls it protein, protein. So sometimes I'll be like, hey, is he saying protein or protein or what? So before I now later got to understand that, oh, he meant protein. Protein is what I know. This is protein or something like that. Then we have some lecturers that are very fast. In fact, you will not hear anything. There is someone, his name is, he was actually my supervisor for the masters. His name is Prof. John Schwabi. He came to class one day. I did not hear anything. He was speaking so fast that even the lectures, like because they record after we had the lecture, they will record it for us. I spent much hour reviewing the record again to understand. I now put it to like, because you can slow it to like two
Mhm.
like you can reduce
1.5,
the,
one, and like
exactly, you can reduce the way the video,
speed.
the speed. I reduce it to 1 to 0.5 so that I can understand. Now imagine all those stress. In fact, I nearly I nearly failed his exam because there are so many things I did not understand. But one thing that I love for the grading system here is that for my own school, the practical class takes a whole chunk of the mark. The practical
Mhm.
class is like 60%.
Mhm.
Now the exam took 20. Your lab skills itself, your lab skills
Mhm.
itself is 10%. And your attendance as a student is 10%.
Mm.
Now, for this course, it was called laboratory technique. I will not even lie to you. I actually failed the exam. I failed the exam. I had 39 over 100. My personal tutor said, you know what, failing this, because me, I'm like, ha, in Nigeria, I never failed one exam like this. I have never failed one exam like this in my life before. And I'm not kidding. I would rather not have the mark that I want, but failing has never occurred to me. I never fail. But in this case, I failed. And my personal tutor was like, you know what? It is not the end of life. Let's check your laboratory practical report. Your attendance is already 10%. You're always coming to class. So that one, you already have 10% over 100. Your laboratory skill is top notch. In fact, we use most of your work as the yardstick to judge others. So you already have 10% in that. So let's see, because for this 20% for exam, this is zero. So, but let's check what is going to be your mark in the
Mhm.
practical, the write-up for the practical stuff and everything, which is 60. And so when that mark came out, I had 55.
Mm.
So I don't bother to even go to the exam again, because for the fact that I have 55 with this 10 and 10, I already had 70. I
Mm.
already had 75% and stuff. So I really don't bother about taking, because there is option. Like if you failed an exam, you can resit. And it is
Mhm.
like a week, you can resit it again.
Mhm.
But when I find out like that, I just said, you know what, I'm not interested in resitting because I did not understand. But later, when I now start, like it was my supervisor for project, I actually choose a project under him because I did not understand his lecture, but I really want to understand him as a person. Like, if I could fail your exam and I'm running away from you, what if peradventure in my PhD I had to settle down for someone like you again?
Mm.
What will I do? Will I run away? No. So what I now did was I picked a project under his supervision, and I discovered that 99% of the class actually did not pick him at all. I was the only one that picked him. So when we talked, we get talking. He said he knows that I failed his exam, but he doesn't know why I'm interested in doing a project under him when he knows that I failed his exam. And I'm like, you know what? I really don't understand you because one, you talk too fast. Two, you walk too fast. Everything about you is always fast. I don't know how you do it, but I really want to use this as a challenge for myself. I believe that if I could stay with you and be able to understand you as a person, overcome this challenge with you being my supervisor for this my master, I believe that I can do anything. I can achieve anything because this to me is like an insurmountable responsibility.
Okay, thank
And
you so much. Yeah,
so
thank you for that input. I would like Abayomi to also add his input, his take on that. And how was the academic like for you? You've made mention of it yourself that it was looking abstract and challenging for you. So how were you able to counter that challenge? How were you able to still come out excellently well as well?
Okay, so I I don't I wouldn't say I was able to fully come out of it, to be quite honest, because let me start from the position of grade. For me, as someone coming from Nigeria also, I've never had to like I repeated in that was in GS3, and ever since I repeated that was like the change, a turnaround in my life when I told myself I was going to be diligent, and from there I'd move to excellent position. I'm graduating as best in my department in Lautech in that year. So
wow.
I was going with that same mindset that yeah. And one of the things I've always told myself in terms of grade, to be quite, in fact, the funniest thing, I never even studied even my course grade. I never studied because for me, I knew 70 was like the benchmark. And even despite 70 was the benchmark, I'd never always planned to have 70. I'm always aiming for the for the highest score, as if possible 90 plus over 100. But but it got to a time in this program that I needed to start asking my friend, what's the pass grade? At least let me just pass, please. Because it's like, I don't like it's like this 70 is looking like a mirage. Let me just have, what is the least score I can have? So, but yeah, the interesting thing was every effort counts. The little drop makes a mighty ocean. It's all those little steps. So when my colleagues would go for break, go to eat, I just have to go to the library, start watching YouTube videos, trying to understand what the course was all about. I had to summon, like I saw the system here was quite different. I could walk up to any lecturer. I had to meet lecturer personally, even within break times, and fix time with them. Can they put me through? In fact, there was a lecturer which I still appreciated today that gave me his time. In fact, the day we were having, he was teaching me. His tummy was sounding really hard, and he had to tell me I've not eaten. I said, I obviously I know. And in that course, I did have, I think I had 100% in his course, and I think there was the other one I had 90 something there about. So, and I was so happy because, and I told him, I said, thank you. He was like, no, it's you. You made the effort. So I had to take like because I didn't want to fail. I knew what failure was like, and I knew had to tell myself I wasn't going to fail. I was going to push for excellence. Even getting 70 for me was like a failure. But as I said, when reality gets done on you and you just want to survive. So, and I also get to a point to understand what gave me what consoled me was when I spoke with a friend of mine who told me you are among the best of the best, so don't feel intimidated by anyone. So
Mm,
they are coming from all part of the world. So because sometimes even while I'm trying to struggle, there's a part of me trying to also compete, trying to also feel relevant within this group of people. So that pressure alone, I had to let go of that pressure and tell myself I had to always just keep. I have to have this assurance within myself that I'm improving, I'm learning. So I don't, and I, when you're not, there's why we even be proud? Where it's all that is like is when you're being the brightest. That's where you so I walk
mhm,
up to any one of them. Some of them mock you, they want to make fun, you understand. But I walk up to them, and those that I feel are warm, are welcoming. I ask them, they put me through. And when I spoke to the friend of mine that told me that I'm among the best, it made me calm down. And when I also spoke to some of these same colleagues, the ones I'm even looking up, I'm looking at them that these guys are so smart. They tell me they're also going through the same stress, but their own way of dealing with stress is quite different. It's either they drink or they smoke or they go clubbing. So that's them, and they take a lot of caffeine which I'm not used to, which is coffee. They take a lot of coffee in this part of the world. So I wasn't used to all of that. So I saw that they also were going through the same thing I was going through. That itself made me calm down and reduce the pressure I was putting on myself. And I had to encourage myself to just keep making the step. And yeah, it was those steps I kept making that I think at the end, by the grace of God, that paid off.
So yeah, so um thank you for that great input to it. And from what I've been able to take from you, it's just like an analysis. I just want to add some little intake from my side before we move to the next question. Is Number one, you said you care less about what the grading system is, and all you just wanted was the best. You just want to be the best. You just want to have the highest score because of your previous experience, which is something I feel every viewer should take home. And secondly, was the fact that I would try to just add this for you, and that has always been my standard of excellence. And my standard of excellence comes from physics. That's efficiency and mechanical accuracy and velocity ratio. The efficiency of a machine is never 100%. There will always be something that will cause it to reduce to maybe 98.8, 98% or 99.9%. Engineers or physicists should know that. Now, how do I term excellence? I term excellence to be that whatever you set your efficiency to, always put a friction. Now, what is that? If you set your mind to, oh, I just want to have a 70% grade, and this is not just for either you're a master's student or a PhD student or even an undergrad, this will really help you. If you set your excellence, that's your 100% to 70%. Always remember there's a friction coming. And whenever there's a friction, if you've noticed the pattern, there are some standard you set yourself to, and at the end, it will just be a little below what you like, just a drop. That drop you add is the friction. So whenever you are setting your standard, always make sure you aim high. When you are aiming high, when the friction comes in, it brings it okay to the range you wanted. So what I Abayomi said was that, oh, he was always targeting doing the best, that let's say 90. So imagine you are targeting something like even 100 over 100. Your mindset unconsciously, you don't know you are programming yourself to that. So for instance, if friction comes in, oh, you forgot the question in class, or you were able to do this and that, that friction will still bring you down to the range of that excellence. That is when if you have targeted 99%, you will be around the range of 90, 70. Let me ask you this question and answer that. What are the scores or the grades you've targeted and aimed for, and what did you achieve? Look at the gap difference, the error there. The error is always minute, and the minute of that error is just because of the friction. So if you are targeting an excellent grade out of 70%, what you should be expecting is that, oh, probability of getting 70 might be so slim, you might be getting a 60%. So whenever you're targeting excellence, target the highest so that when the friction happens, you still be among the excellent results. So that is the take home from what Abayomi have said. I hope I'm able to bring that math into your application. Yeah. Now let's go to the reality back again. And the reality of things is it okay to cry? And let's start with Doris. Because we all, let's start with Abayomi. Abayomi said something that everyone knows how to undo their, everyone knows how to undo their pain. Some use caffeine, some use smoking, some use drinking and the likes. And why are they using this? It's because they are trying to suppress something down. So let's not start with Doris. Is it okay to cry? And if it's okay to cry, how do you undo it? Everybody will say this.
Hey, it's okay to cry. If you have the tears just very close to your eye, just let it out. Because for me, most times when I cry, I feel very relieved. To be honest, sometimes after crying, I get that confidence that I previously lost. To be honest, after crying, I get very courageous to want to do what maybe I didn't have the strength to do before. I remember um when I just got to the UK, a new course based on the fact that I studied course that was medically inclined back in Nigeria. I thought maybe I was coming here to do something that was alike, based on my course is also my master's course was also something related to medicals. So when I got here, I saw that one of my course modules included using our language to do some kind of biostatistics and all of that. And to be honest, I have never coded before. In fact, I don't know what coding is. And these people expect me to just learn it within a few weeks, maybe a few weeks of the course. So what is all this? And then they started teaching us, Aru, you press this, you put this command and all of that. And it was all new to me. To tell you the truth, I cried the first day I was in that class. I cried. And when I got home, I cried. I kept on crying. And to the point where I had to set a meeting with my personal tutor to just cry to her. Like I cried, like I set a meeting so that I wanted to just cry to you. And then she accepted, and when I got to her office, I cried again. So what she just did was to comfort me, give me all the encouragement that I needed. These people, they are always there. They are always to 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 get to hear, to be like an ear for you, to just hear your complaint and to see how they can help you. So another thing I did was to always call my people back home. Like, since you're all alone, and to be honest, you can't be the only one encouraging yourself. You get, even if you encourage yourself, you have a little doubt. You'll be having this kind of question like, what if I can't? What if? And then you always want to feel discouraged. You always want to feel like you don't believe in yourself. So you need friends, you need family. So I always called my family, my sisters, my brothers, my husband. Oh, I can't leave that one out. My husband, I always called him just just complain. My sisters complain to them, and then they give me the encouragement that I need. Then I also did my part. I went to the course, do the reading, did extra studies that I needed to do while crying. I didn't stop crying while crying. So all of this together helps me to put myself together. And at the end, I had a distinction in that course, and I'm very happy about that. So
That's nice. That's nice. Thank you so much, Doris. Just hear from Wasiu. Is it okay to cry? And if it's okay to cry, how do how
You see, one of the most funniest things that we will hear as a Nigerian is you are a guy. A guy don't cry. It's a lie. You see,
I'm
you will get to a situation that you have nothing else to do than to cry. I swear. Okay, I told you I failed an exam. What do you expect me to do? I've never done that before. I was crying. My personal tutor was now telling me, Wasi, this is not the end of life. I said, for me, it's the end of life. Oh. My papa did not know that I failed. And she was like, you know what? I understand. You Africans, you love to do stuff. You are so passionate about what you are doing. But you need to understand that you are doing a course that is actually different from your entire background. I did biomedical science, same as Doris, and my specialty is medical microbiology. Now I'm doing cancer and molecular biology. It is so totally different from what I understand. And she's, encouraging me that you even need to like appreciate yourself more because in the practical aspect, you are doing fantastic. It is just the exam that is a little bit hard. And sometimes it is okay to fail in life. I told her, no, it is not okay to fail in life. You cannot tell me it is okay to like, and she started telling me that you see, you need to like unlearn some things. Understand that just because you are the best in Nigeria, or maybe you are coming from an academic background that you have adapted to, doesn't mean that you should just come here and think that everything will be fine. You should accept the fact that there will be setback in life. And
Mhm.
one thing that I would tell everyone is that the moment you get to the UK and you are assigned a personal tutor, make that person your friend because it will get to a point that you will need their help consistently. This woman will always check on me in the lab. Even during my masters, during my project, she will come to the lab. Hey, Wasi, do you want to talk? I am a Muslim. I really don't vibe with women, stuff like that, because anything that has to do with women, she get. She made it a routine that every Monday morning she must give me a hug.
Mm.
She was so invested in my life to an extent that if not for her, I don't think I'll be able to survive. I actually finished with a distinction. And I believe that if not for her, even though I failed an exam, I finished with a distinction.
Wow.
When they were grading our courses, my overall credit weighted, and they were like, you know what, you satisfied some rules and regulations, we are giving you distinctions. It was fantastic. I won't lie to you, it was fantastic. So in whatever you do, please, in whatever you do, make sure you make your personal tutor your best friend. They are always the and another thing, like Doris and Abayomi have said, people here you can walk up to them anytime you want. They are ready to listen to you. They are ready to help you out. I can't count the amount of time I will walk up to John Schwabi and ask him, you know what, this lab work that I did, I don't understand the thing. Please, can you just explain? He will say, okay, sit down. He will now start. He's a professor for cry out loud. He has so many meetings and everything. He will say, you know what, let me just explain this to you because you will be the one in the lab. I would come and check on you. So I need you to understand things so that when I come, we will have little stuff to talk about. He will sit me down, explain everything again. You know, I can ask the same question for like 5, 10 times. He is not frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
One of the things I love about them is this. So
Yep.
we carrying the mentality that no, our lecturers, they are unapproachable. We must always fear them. They actually is an example of cultural shock I experienced here as well.
Mm.
Because we are always treating our lecturers like the god. We must not approach them. We must do everything fine. They don't expect you to be fine. In fact, they don't expect you to be perfect. They just want you to understand.
Mm.
Mm.
As long as you understand, they are fine. And I tell you, please continue to understand that life cannot be the way you want it all the time. So it is okay to cry. I have cried. I mean, I really don't like crying, but I cry when I go to the it is funny, but
All
it is.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Abayomi, on to you. I before you
O-
talk, I remember I
Okay.
said something to you. We're always in the
Okay.
tram. I know it's a tram, and you're like, in Yoruba, Oluwa ṣàánú fún mi. God have mercy on me. I believe you've got into a state whereby you're like, oh, I think so. Is it okay to cry?
Yes, and yes, and yes, it is so okay to cry. So okay. As I said from when the first, which you've emphasized also, most of the time it's in the bus actually. In the bus when because my coursework was in Spain, so we use most times the bus.
Okay.
So I remember the song. It says Abiyamo kì í gbẹ́kún ọmọ rẹ̀ kó má tàkìtì wèrè. It means a mother cannot hear the cry of her sucking child and would not
Mhm.
make a move.
Amen. Yeah.
So it's like me crying to God, like I'm tired. And I would just put my head on the glass, sitting on the bus, and I'm just looking up, like I need to understand my life at this moment. What's happening? Am I okay? You understand? So, and the most way I deal with because I wanted to use like what was you said, Nigeria, I don't know. So there's this word, strong men don't cry. It's a lie. Like it's a pure lie. The only thing for me was that because I'm this kind of person, I'm always smiling. I have
Mm.
this joyous mood. So it's sometimes very difficult for me to, but I go through a lot of, as I said, the mental stress. And so what I do sometimes is inside the bus, or when I'm walking, I walk a lot. I could just leave my apartment and I'm just walking on the road, like just walking. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just walking.
Mhm.
I just keep thinking about as I'm walking, it's like a therapy. I just keep walking. I just keep walking. When I'm tired, and I'm like, okay, it's like the whole leg I'm exhausted. Then I go back
Mhm.
home because that's the way to sleep, or else the stress will not make me sleep. And I need sleep to make my brain to be calm because I'll still go and face the stress again the next day. So so when I'm exhausted that way, and one of the growth therapies also just call your friends. All out, like people, not people that will start billing you that expect, oh, they think once you step in Europe, there's money on every road of Europe. That was my mentality also. It's like Europe is filled with money. You match money all around. You know. So not people that when you call and it's always kind of tailored at the end of the conversation is just what they would. No, no, no. It's people that understand your pain. People that can really they've been there. They don't. It's not a matter of what they gain from you. It's a matter of them trying to understand you. That oh, we understand you're also human. We understand you're smart about your book. You're also human and you're struggling at this stage. And those are the kind of people I reach out to. I talk to them. My mentors, my seniors that have also traveled out, I call all of them. And In fact, when they share their own story with me, it's so good when you listen to other people's story. It calms you down. Like all the energy, the zeal, the way you're feeling like as though you can pull down a mountain. When you hear people that you know are the ones encouraging you has been your mentor and they tell you their life story, you will calm down. You're like, so you went through this. They say, "Ah, of course. But you're still surviving." They say, yes. And that's when you start understanding that you are just going through your own process. At the end, it's going to be bright. The only thing I will also just say is that in addition to what I've said, is there are certain values you've built, which are the most important you must continue to live by. As when you're in Nigeria, they trying to the not giving up, you reading rigorously, you having group discussion, all of those things. And also you've like failure, you understand is part of life. You would get to. But the only thing is how does failure mold you? You understand? It's not you don't give up. It's you learn from it and you move on. You look at how best. So all of those things are the things that will keep you the energies, the way you've lived in Nigeria. Don't think I've moved to Europe and enjoyment has now come. People at home, that's their mindset in now for me anyway. But we that we live in the reality, we know what is happening. And yeah, so that's just it.
Yeah, thank
So
you
it's
so
okay to
much.
cry.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abayomi. Now on to Doris. I think we have a few minutes left. So we've discussed basically on the academic part of it, and like let's talk about the culture, the how were you able to like we aside the study. How were you able to go and move around the weather, the culture, the way it has always been in Nigeria or any other country? How were you able to bring balance to it here? Because definitely everything at home will be different from what you are seeing here. So we just like to hear very shortly from every speakers. How did you bring about balance to the culture, the feeding, the stuffs, and the likes and that? Because this is what they would as well be experiencing when they get their years, or what they are experiencing currently, and how do they manage that?
To me,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so I don't have much to say about that because for the culture, um, to tell you the truth, I mind my business. To tell you the truth, I mind my business. I don't even know what my neighbor looks like. I mind my business. For the food, I eat Nigerian food. I just go to a Nigerian shop. I cook generally, so I just go to Nigerian shop, get what I have to get, and cook. But I have a few friends that are not Nigerians, but whenever I'm with them, I'm kind of very what I'm kind of very careful what I say. You know, the way we joke in Nigeria, it's not the same way you joke here. You don't just open your mouth and say
Mm-hmm.
life because they might see it as something very offensive. So
Yeah.
and what I say, I try as much as possible to like observe them. You know, if you meet me in Nigeria, you know that I'm a very social person. Like I don't stay quiet. But here I'm a very quiet person. I've become a very quiet person. If I'm in a group of if I'm with a group of friends, I'm the least talking person. I do not talk. All I do is observe and then talk when I have to talk. Actually, because not everything you want to say, just observe and that's my own. I don't know for the next person, that's my own way of
Mm-hmm.
dealing with them and basically everything has been going fine and my advice is if you're coming here to study or to do anything if you can you come with a partner because I can't leave that aside. Come with somebody that you can look right to the person's face, you know, when
Thank
that
God you are saying if you can.
that's all
Not all of us can. Not all of us can.
Exactly.
perspective. Come with a partner because I know what I went through from when I got to this country. My former landlady, who is actually an African, a Ghanaian that maybe grew here, but she has a stand here, and she felt she could just do things anyhow. That lady was something else. So if you can come with someone that when you look at the person's face will give you that encouragement, the joy that you need, to put you out of depression. you just need to do that. So basically, that's how I've been living my life, and I've been enjoying it though. And then I have few friends too, like Wasi around me, who calls to check up on me once in a while.
Hmm.
So that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. And what's you? What is your take on culture,
Yeah.
written and all?
So the thing is, when I come to the UK, we come from a very hot weather. So when we got here, the first problem I have is with the coldness and everything. Now everything is cold. And then we arrived at September, close to the time when it becomes dark after 3 o'clock. You know, it get to a point that my siblings will call me and started taunting me that we still have sun at 5 p.m. Everywhere is dark over there. Why? Like this is a phenomenon I cannot explain, but it was too much on me because I'm used to the sunlight. We don't have anything here. This is not nice. And then, but the school one, the cohort that I was with, the cancer and molecular biology cohort, we have like three British and others were Indians. I'm the only Nigerians among them. So all of them, let me tell you, all of them are very friendly. All of them are very friendly. Now, this is how we even start our friendship. When we get to the lab that day, they posted our names and pictures in the lab. So most of them have, they are like unprepared. So most pictures they use were like unprepared pictures. So we started like, you know, having fun with ourselves. We started like, saying, why do you look like this? It was like, you know what, my mom made me snap this picture. Why? Some people call me a LinkedIn picture taker or something like that. That's what they said. I look like somebody that is ready to talk on LinkedIn and stuff because my picture is like suit and tie and all, you know, I'm a proper Nigerian picture. But a lot of them they just use like random pictures and it was funny. And right off we hit it off. And that week we went for a dinner. I was invited. I did not pay for my dinner. They paid for me.
Oh,
Somebody just invited everybody to dinner. We were 12. And since then, we have been having occasional meetings, and also and the university that I am, they organize different, you know, I'd go like different excursions sometimes. They took us to Oxford, they took us to Birmingham, and it is just for like a small amount of money. So sometimes I join, but sometimes when I see that the lecture is killing me, I opt out. And then about the food, I think I'm a proper Englishman now. I eat a lot of cakes and pastries now. In fact, when I first came here, I was cooking, frying chicken, frying everything because it was easy to get. They are paying me stipend. I can get all what I want. So when I started cooking and I started seeing that my cooking is affecting the way I read, I stopped cooking.
Mm.
I started eating sometimes takeout, sometimes pastries. Right now. I live on pastries.
Mm.
In fact, when I was in Nigeria, I think last 2 months, I cannot even hit amala properly. My mom and dad were just laughing at me, which is but it was actually amazing here. Although, like Doris said, you have to be careful with the way you say things because sometimes
Yeah.
some people here they find some kind of jokes that we made offensive and stuff like this. You have to be careful among them. But I will not lie to you, most of my classmates, even the proper British one, they are in fact they are the worst in those kind of joke. They call me, they said somebody called me that I look like my shadow. He said, "You are so dark, you look like your own shadow." I said, hey, is that what we are going to be doing in this class? Are we counting ourselves now? The guy was just laughing. He was like, and then that day we went to the dinner. This guy, we had like a very spicy food. And I told them they should give me an extra hot spicy stuff. And when they give me, and the guy said, I want to try it. I said, I'm not asking you to try. Please don't put me in trouble. He said, no, I'm a man. He tried. He was crying. I
oh.
started laughing.
It's all red.
He was crying, like serious cry. I was just laughing. I said, I tell you, you don't do things that you are not used to. He said he doesn't know that it is that spicy. How are you surviving, Wasiu? I said, that's what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this kind of relationship with ourselves. So just
Yeah.
just try and have, like Dory said, understand the people around you, observe. If they are the kind of people that you can move with, joke with, do. If not, like Abayomi said, call your people at home, call your friends. I have Commonwealth scholars. Most of them are my friends. I call everybody. Sometimes when I'm bored, I call Doris. I'm always calling Doris. I don't know why. I'm always calling her. She's my friend. We talk at length. We do all stuff. And then so many Commonwealth scholars like that. We talk a lot. And I will not lie to you. My dad and my mom, they are always calling me as well. They are always calling. So it helped me a lot. And then I have my personal tutor as well. I have my supervisor. In fact, there was a time my supervisor invited me to his house for dinner.
Uh,
So I have a lot of friends among them, and it is because of the way I behave as well. So thank you so much.
yeah, thank you so much, you for that. Yeah, Abayomi, on to you before we call it a
Okay,
wonderful
okay,
session. So let's hear
okay,
from you.
okay. So I think I've mentioned the first culture shock for me, which I'm still going to show you something. I'm coming. Uh, so this is an evidence. If you look at this,
The child.
this is the three mouth socket. This
Yeah.
is an adapter for two mouths. So all my gadgets, I have to get an adapter for them because I'm still using three mouths. So it's a culture shock, and I always ask them, why you guys using two mouths? And they will ask me, why are you using three mouths? And I'm like, it should be three mouths. It's just so that was the first culture shock. In terms of food, also it was a culture shock because I've always tried to avoid too much sugary stuff, and well, in this part of the world, they take a lot of sugary stuff, a lot of like it's so much.
Too
At the
much.
point, I couldn't manage it. Also, I had to like when I didn't have much choice, I had to just start taking all those stuff. Then, as you rightly said, the chili. Whenever I take chilies, like these guys are looking at me like, guy, what's like, are you surviving? Are you coping? Like, it's, and you get to a point, they start telling me, they start preaching their own life to me. And they told me that it's not good for my health. I said, go to Africa and tell the whole of Africa that. And the honest truth is, once they take it, it's like they say they are burning. That's
Mhm.
Yeah.
what they use. They say, I'm burning. Like, and you see their cheek literally turn hot. Like, you can, and they're like, and they trusted it. We cook the fried rice. We reduce the chili to like the pepper to
The
the
spice.
barest minimum. And guess what? These guys were still complaining. And they asked me, what do I? I said, I can't even taste anything. They're like, what? So that was so shocking for, and also, in Nigeria, for instance, we are used to eating rice. But in this part of the world, rice is like dessert. They mix rice with milk and with
Mm.
sugar, and they make, and there's one round kind of rice they also make, or very, very small. And that's why, so when we
Okay.
have to do a kind of culture integration, where when I took my food, like Nigeria, they always used to take food to party.
Mhm.
But interestingly, I still took just like a small package. When I got there, I was shocked every one of them brought like snacks. I was the only one that brought like rice, jollof. I think, yeah, I took fried rice and I took chicken. And one of my friends came to ask me, said, why did you bring so much? I'm like, what? Like, this is just like what two people eat in Nigeria. In Nigeria party, we bring a lot. So I was shocked because this guy, they just take little things. The way they
Exactly.
hit, I don't know how. I'm like, how you guys surviving? I'm like, I need to hit to be strong. Okay, so and also another culture shock for me was the formal, like in Europe here. I think in UK also it might be a little bit different. But in terms of when you have presentation, the first class I attended, I dressed so formal. I the only thing that saved me was I didn't put on tie. That was what I wanted to put on tie. I talked it. But when I entered the class, even the professor, they were not as dressed the way I was. I started looking at what's happening here. I felt so awkward. Like, you know, when you're dressing good, but you're not looking so awkward.
Yeah.
And after that day, I started dressing. Even the day of presentation, people dress so like semi-formal, casual. And I learned that way. So, okay, so this is how we roll. So I also started dressing the casual. So that was a lot of shock because in Nigeria you have to go and borrow suits if you don't have suits. That's not how I used to borrow suits.
Charlie,
So
You have
also
absolutely right.
also the warmness of people. Yes, the warmness, and I'm going to say the opposite later. But firstly, is the warmness of people in Spain, for instance. Oh, I almost forgot. Importantly, language.
Now that's for we
Nigeria
are.
has been built with a wrong mindset, or maybe most people in Nigeria has built with a wrong mindset that once you don't speak English, you are illiterate.
Mm.
And I came with that mindset also. But I was so shocked that everybody I asked on the street, the first day I wanted to go to school, I hardly could find a single person that could speak English. And I was asking them, sorry, they were like, I have to use Google Translator to speak. I'm like, I'm in trouble. Like, I'm in trouble. You enter bus, you have to use you are delaying people, you have to be. So it wasn't easy. And when came to France, also finally, I came to France, I went to Italy. Everyone is speaking their language. English is a second language, and your professors are even speaking. They call my French professor will tell me he's speaking French English because that is English, so difficult to understand.
yeah,
So you get to start saying that English is not. It's just a way of communication, and that was a culture shock for me. In fact, English doesn't makes you. It doesn't mean you're educated or no. It's just the way you communicate with people. So language, English, that was a shock for me. Then the warmness of people back to that is that people, in Nigeria, some people would help you and they expect you to settle them. That settle means you give them money for helping you. So in this place, I've seen somebody when I was trying to locate train, he said, "Oh, hold on." He took me from where I was to where I needed to board the train. And when I saw that my card wasn't working, he even wanted to pay the few current, which was a few euros for me. I think that was like €1 or two. He wanted, oh, he could help me. I was like, no, thank you. Because I know from Nigeria, for the fact you took me this long, I should give you something to go back. So I was shocked that people were ready to help without even uh, getting
Asking
anything.
for anything.
Then privacy. So the opposite of it now is now privacy. They value their privacy. They
Yeah.
value their privacy. Like they just it's like when you come and when my friends they see me, I said in Nigeria, I'm not the kind of person that relates so much. But I always try to because I'm always indoor. My friend tells me you don't even know how to relate. So when people hear, they tell me that, oh, you're so social. I'm like, I mean, my colleagues in class, I'm like, so this is not social. You need to come to Nigeria and know what social is. I think you guys are the ones that are not even social at all. And that's why you think I am social. So it's so funny that even your roommates, like people in your same apartment, they don't care about, they just, if they greet you, like they just want to greet you and that's all. How are you doesn't mean for you to tell them story. It's
yeah,
just how are you, and
Fine.
just
yeah,
move on and just go. You understand? Don't try to raise any story. They don't like they are too busy. They don't have that. Don't even go and knock on somebody's door. It's like the heights they will use to look at you like, well, we know each other, right? Like, yeah, but this like I just want to be alone. Like I need to do something. And they say things so bluntly, and who they are. Like they say so blunt, like I have something to do. Okay, okay, take care. Oh, take care, bye. And the next day they see you outside, they smile. When you tell them about, but you reacted, you behaved so cold to me. Say, yeah, I had something, and they will still tell you, I had something to do then. That was why. I'm like, okay. So that's where you understand that privacy is privacy. You smile, you smile. Privacy is privacy. So that's where the culture shock for me.
Yeah, thank you so much. It has been an amazing session, and yeah, we're about to call it a wonderful day for today. But before we call it, before we end it, we would like to just hear from our speakers, everyone. What are your take home for everyone currently facing this problem? Let me not call it a problem. It's a good problem. Yeah. What are your advice for to them, and what do you think they can just um what do you think of what just your take home for every viewers, those that will be coming to check on this channel and And before that, let me just make a quick announcement. There will be a webinar coming up tomorrow, and that's going to be yeah. So I'm coming. Sorry. Yeah. The webinar is coming up tomorrow. Navigating. Oh, sorry. This is yeah. Reference letter and relationship building. So it will be coming up tomorrow, and we would like to see you there. And before our speakers give their take home, I would like to say this. Thank you so much for our viewers from LinkedIn, from YouTube, from Facebook, from every platform, and for your time. And also, I'd like to appreciate the speakers, that's Doris, Abayomi, Wasio, for your time as well, because I believe it's out of their busy schedule they are here today. And also, I'd like to appreciate the organizers of today's webinar, that is Ejiro and Bushi, and every of our past speakers as well. So now, for to bring it to a conclusion and ending moment, yeah, let's start from ladies first. Actually, Doris, what's your take home? What will you give as a take home for our viewers currently watching and those that watch?
Okay, so I'd like to say don't let all the challenges that we've said here to be like obstacle for you, because everyone has their way of managing stress, managing challenges. So you should also try to navigate your way to manage, because even back in Nigeria, there you also face challenges. So let the challenge not be what will make you to say, "Oh, I can't come to this country, or I can't move from the particular country where you are to that country to face challenge." No, that's not how it's supposed to be. So you need to be open-minded, be ready for change, because change is something that is constant. So that when the change comes, you know how to embrace it, and you understand your own way of accepting the change and making the change. Let me put it this way: making lemons turn into lemonade. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doris. Yeah, on to let's do it. Abayomi.
Yeah.
Abayomi, yes.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to split into two. One is the upcoming scholars, and secondly is the current scholar. So for the upcoming scholar, what I'll just tell you is whatever I call it the excellent spirit. There's so much uh, transformation you're going through right now in terms of your dedication, your being like yeah, diligence, and yeah, and also you've experienced setback and you never gave up. Those virtues that you're going through are some of the things you would also need. They are building you and they are making you strong. So don't look at it and feel like, oh, why was life hard on you? No, it's those are some of the things you would need. You understand? When professors would shout at you and you just want to meet deadlines, so those things that made you met those deadlines, there are things you would also need. And for the current scholar, is that know that whatever you're going through is not peculiar to you alone. You understand? That's the most important thing. Just know it's not peculiar to you alone. So, in to sum up to everyone, both the upcoming and the current, is that understand that each of us, we are currently at a process. You understand? I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And also what you can do is also have mentors that have gone far ahead of you, and they're able to share their own personal stories without having to sugarcoat anything. That would really console you. So have mentors you can always reach out to, and yeah, and someone you can always just someone that has that listening ear that you can just even if you want to cry, the person is ready to just hear you cry. Even if you want to shout at the person is just ready to let you shout. Even if you want to complain, someone that just has that heart to just let you do whatever you want to. That when you're done, it's like, okay, now can I talk and all of that? Yeah, you need to have such person in your life also. So that's it for my thing.
Thank you so much, Abayomi. Now on to our final speaker, Wasio. You take the take home for today's as a
Yeah.
conclusion for today's webinar.
I would say thank you everyone, and Doris and Abayomi has said fantastic and wonderful things, because that is basically what we need to understand that challenges in life, you don't have to feel alone. Everyone is facing one or two, and then don't feel that because you are facing this challenge, I'm overpowered, I can't do anything. No, even if you fail, dust yourself. Don't let it be the end of you. Bring yourself up. You will win. I fail an exam. It doesn't stop me from finishing with a distinction. I tell you. So imagine I have crashed down and I just and I just decide that, oh, I failed, oh, so that's the end of life. How would you think I would have ended up? So people should understand that challenges are part of life. It is okay to be frustrated. It is okay to be, to be sad. It is okay to cry. But what will you do after that? Should be your next question. And also try and make sure that you know what you want to do right from now. For the current scholars, know what you want to do right from now. If you want to start looking for PhD or work, start it now. Because I'm telling you, after you finish your masters, you know that you have little or no time again, because it is not easy. It is really, really not easy. So whatever you want to do, start now. And for the upcoming ones, like Mr. Bayomi said, please look for people that can mentor you. Look for people that will be able to explain things to you without sugarcoating anything. People that can tell you that, oh, this is how life is, this is what we are going through here. So you don't have to let them think that everything when you get to UK or Europe, everything is rosy. You just be wallowing in money, spending in dollars and pounds and euros. No, it is not like that. So thank you everyone for joining. That's my own take.
Yeah, thank you so much for our speakers, and also thank you the viewers. And we'll end with this, and that's just coming from my end. And it's not quoted, it's not my quote. I saw the quote in the video, and that pursue excellence and success will follow. Hands down. Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.